Right, we're just now going, Mark, going to talk about the workout. Um, Now, with a client, I aim to keep things simple at the outset because you can make things very complicated, very, very elaborate, and someone like myself gets a bit carried away and I get
Oh yeah,
into too much detail, which is not good. There's a lot more to all of these exercises and
yeah, there is.
systems and what have
You
you,
always say
but
before,
you
loads.
don't need to drown someone in information.
No,
But we've been talking about compound, which is when you're exercising the full body, which is the ideal, the full body in an unsupported environment. And we did the clean and press there just now. We weren't squatting because it's
no,
getting a bit advanced to squat at the same time. But if you squat when you do the clean and press, all to the good,
yeah,
because then you're almost working at every muscle in your body. And then you do the compound first, and then you go on to isolated exercise, which is the bicep curl. Where you're isolating one knee, but we also did trap shrugs, didn't we?
or not. Oh,
Where we were focusing purely on the traps. Yeah. The ideal is full body exercise in an unsupported environment which replicates life. This helps mobility, helps avoid injury, and helps develop sport by developing agility and skill. Now, the basis for a good thorough workout of your whole body through the week is called push-pull legs. Push, which I've demonstrated some exercises a while back with you, is chest press, but the push works out the chest, shoulder and triceps. Pull is the back, biceps and the rear delts. That's what we've been doing today. So today you've been working out your back, your biceps and your rear delts.
yeah,
Probably all the delts actually with what you're doing. But that's where we're getting technical, so we won't dwell on that
yeah,
at this stage. Then the legs, the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes and the calves. But as you were standing up throughout all today's workout, you've probably done a fair bit of leg work as well, really.
yeah,
Now, they do talk about how do I keep exercise as simple as possible, and that would be through the 3 power lifts, which form the basis of push-pull legs. And that's the bench press, the deadlift. We've done
yeah,
the deadlift and
yeah,
the squat. You'll follow always on about squats. So we need to work on your squat technique.
yeah,
At this company I hope to establish one day, the base program would be at home at the outset, and that's to establish the exercise habit, you see, because if you do it in the house and get used to doing it in your house, you're more likely to stick with it than the effort of going to a gym. The client data master in Excel I've done
oh,
most of,
yeah,
but also there's some that one could only do in the gym, like what's called a tricep press down with a rope on a cable, which I
yeah,
really love.
yeah,
But basically, getting into the home exercising habit. Now, the push-pull legs, ideally, I mean, we're tending to be on a weekly basis, but you'll do a 3-day or a 6-day split. So you'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, push-pull legs. You can do a 6-day split. But I've just referred to the 6-day split. But 3-day split was where you did push on Monday, pull on Wednesday, legs on Friday. 12 to 25 sets makes a good workout. Any more than that, you're going to get worn out. Because personal trainers worry about sustainability,
yeah,
and if you make things too difficult for yourself, you're more likely to think, oh, I'm fed up with doing this. But if you actually did 3 days a week, 12 sets, that would be fine. You build muscle
yeah.
and you'll be healthier and fitter. We've forgotten something, except you and I haven't, because people go on about push-pull legs, but they forget the core.
Oh, you say yeah, yeah,
So we've talked about the transverse abdominis, and there's something very fancy called TVA activation,
yeah,
which the core never used to be mentioned. It was also all about bench presses and squats. But now the core has become fashionable to talk about because all movement
yeah,
comes from the core.
yeah,
We've also talked today about an introduction to flexion, rotation, and stability, which are those things that we were doing, going backwards and forwards, side to side, and so on. and that would be that's an introduction. It's all essential for boxing. You see, I've done a lot of boxing training, so in boxing you really get into
like,
the core is very important for boxing because when you box you actually punch from the hip. So we're going to be doing a bit of boxing to finish off. Now, one of the PT books, I was talking about how bodybuilders can develop restricted motion through hypertonic muscles, which means overly stiff muscles. It means you've done your agonist muscles, as they're called. I'll explain this in detail later, but you haven't done the antagonists as well. So it's like always working out your biceps and never your triceps. You will end up with an imbalance.
Yeah.
And that means likelihood of injury. So how to vary and develop an exercise program to keep it interesting, because if you just do the same old, again, you'll get fed up with it. Now, the classic way is you just put up the weight and the reps. So we're doing 15 kilograms, bicep curl, 10. No, I don't think I put that right. A 15 kilogram bicep curl, 10 reps, and then we go up to 20 kilograms, 10 reps, or 20 kilograms, 15 reps, and so on and so on. That's the classic approach to bodybuilding, but it gets a bit limited, a bit boring.
Yeah.
So what you can do is you can change the tempo, make it faster or slower. Making it slower is a lot harder on the muscles. Decrease stability. Now we've done that. You can do it on one leg, but again, be very careful.
Yeah, like you said,
The Swiss ball is the system. Yeah, the Swiss ball is something that is a great stability exercise, basically. You can take a bicep curl and turn it into a full body exercise, where you can squat while you're doing the bicep curl. Lots of variations.
Yeah.
You widen the range of motion, by which means pushing the arm out further, higher, wider, without straining your rotator cuffs. Like with a chest fly, you can make the arm push the arm right out. And when you start out, you tend to start out with limited range of motion.
One already taught, like already.
Yeah, exactly.
10 seconds or.
Yeah. Triplanar movement means moving through all three planes, which I'm not sure I've explained those to you yet, but I'll tell you about them in due course. But the teacher here will know what I mean. Basically, there are three planes of motion, and it's kind of forward, sideways, and rotation. You can reduce the range of motion. You can just really want to look at that bicep. You can do a bicep curl where you're just going halfway. Yeah, you just go very limited range of motion because you can then target the peak of the bicep that way. You make your grip narrower or wider, which will alter the particular shoulder muscles that you're targeting, alter the particular muscles of the back. But you can get very complicated about precisely where you're targeting. That will all to do with the range of motion and your grip and the width of the grip and whether it's a supinated grip or a pronated grip.
Yeah.
Which I think I've explained those terms to you because we'll check up all of this after. I don't want this video to go on too long. You can add weight to body weight exercise. You might have seen pictures of people doing push-ups with weights on their back. That's hard.
Yeah.
You could squat with weights, which can actually assist stability. And you can do a lateral raise with rotation.
Yeah.
By which I mean when you're doing that deltoid raise, as I was calling it. It's a lateral. No, the lateral raise. No, with the arms. That's the one.
That one.
Yeah. You could add. You can rotate your body at the same time as you do it.
Do one.
No, just lift both your arms. That's it. Now rotate your body at the same time. Yeah. And it becomes a question of coordination here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Intervals, you know all about those now. Circuits, and you can turn resistance cardiovascular by doing a lot of weights, but fast, and a lot of them,
Yeah.
And there we are. So, do you have any questions about?
No, it's good.
Have I explained it well today?
Yeah.
There's exercise for you. So if you work well on your push-pull legs, you basically have worked out your whole body in the course of a week.
Yeah.
And you'll be all the better
Like
for
when
it.
I was lifting you up, like you said, I felt it.
Yes.
Like I was, my back really went. Then that's what it's not, like you said.
Well,
Well-
no, you didn't have any pain in your back,
Yeah.
but you would notice that you were cheating, using your back to do the work, which isn't a bad thing
Yeah.
if the back is being used wisely, so to speak, because the back is there to be used.
Yeah.
But as long as you're not straining the back, but if the back comes into play, then that's just sort of going in the direction of full body exercise, which is fine. But the whole point of a bicep curl is to tackle the bicep, not work out the back.
Yeah.
Right, so there we are. Thank you, Mark.